Hey God feelers, hello, welcome on Instagram, welcome on YouTube. If you got questions, guys, on Instagram, make sure you hop over to YouTube so I can actually answer them all in one go. I'm back. Welcome everybody who's joining right now. I'm so excited. I've been so praying for that this will happen because I was just starting into the story here. What actually happened is that we didn't have water, we didn't have electricity, and of course we didn't have Wi-Fi, and we didn't have phone signal for the last, since this morning, and we're not allowed to leave the house. So I was like, okay, I can't notify you, that's not gonna happen. And I'm not sure if at any point in time I'm just gonna be gone. Then it's Panama. Usually it doesn't happen here so often, but today it happened and I had no chance. So if I'm gone, it's the internet connection or the electricity is cut off or something else happened. Okay, guys, I'm so excited you're here. I'm having taken a little break, and thank you so much for everybody who's on the email subscriber list. You've overwhelmed me with your gratitude and with giving me space that I can, go in and really restructure the business and feel into what matters most, how I can really serve you guys, and how can we grow this community while I'm still staying human and still really, also taking time to relax. So, hey, everybody who's joining, Thomas and Ale Sokla and Daisy, and you guys on Instagram. By the way, guys, if you have questions on Instagram, I don't just have one brain. I don't have an assistant for Instagram yet. So make sure you hop over to YouTube so you can ask your question. I can answer them. Okay. The link for all the Instagram people, the link for the video to get to the live Q&A is in the last post. No, in the last story I posted, there's a swipe up link, and then you should find the link, or you just go on YouTube and search for gut feelings, and then you can find it as well. Hi, Naomi, also joining here. It's so exciting you're all here. So what we're going to talk about today is, of course, your questions. That's going to be the main part. And in the beginning, I would love to share with you leveling up your energy, how you can improve your energy levels. I would love to know from you, just as a check-in, if you rate your energy level right now from 1 to 10, 10 being super, super boosted with energy, being able to uproot trees, although I don't want to do that really, but having a lot of energy. To 10, where are you at the scale right now? How was your day? How are you feeling right now? From 1 to 10, how's your energy levels? Let me know. Sean is a 7. That's amazing. Naomi is a 7 as well. Great. 6. I have some 3s. Thomas was an 8. 6, 3. Okay, we are all over the place. I feel like, because I didn't have any connection to the outside world, I feel a little bit maybe like a 7, which is pretty low for me. Jennifer is an 8. Malum, hey. Yeah, you can already start with asking your questions if you like, but we're starting with just sharing a little bit about energy, and then we hop over to your questions. Oh, before I forget, I wanted to welcome our new, from our last week, the new Gut Feelings members. And that's Moksha Pavoloncello, maybe that's Italian, and J-Man. Thank you so much for joining the Gut Feelings membership on YouTube here. And also I want to shout out to our longest member that is still active in the Gut Feeler membership community, and that's Thomas Shortland. You can, by the way, see the people who are, there's a lot of flies here, who are the Gut Feelings member. You can see them by, they are green and they have a heart behind them. And the heart symbolizes how long they've already been a member. So Thomas has a golden heart. He's been the longest one. And Angela has a green one. She's one of the newer ones. Yeah, so if you want to join the Gut Feelings membership, that's basically all about supporting this channel, supporting those live Q&As, me being able to share more free information. And yeah, you also get a little bit of perks once or twice per month from what's happening behind the scenes of Gut Feelings. Okay, more people joining. I'm so grateful you're all here, guys. It's amazing. Thank you for making it on a Tuesday. Now, let's talk about the energy levels. If you're just joining, let me know where your energy level is from 1 to 10, 10 being the most energetic and 1 being, oh my God, I can barely open my eyes. Jennifer, you can join the membership under the channel, you see a link where you click subscribe, and then next to it is a button that says join. And this join button, in most countries in the US, it exists. In some countries, it doesn't. I think India doesn't have it. Then you can click on that, and then you get a little bit more information about it, what that entitles. Okay, let's start with energy. So, guys, I talk a lot about diet and about food. I actually just had an interview the other day for a chronic warriors healing summit, something like that. It's going to come out next week. And she also asked me, yeah, you're so much about medical medium and about food and diet. And I basically, the whole interview, I was in this move that it's not just about diet, guys. I've got clients who come to me and they eat the best food and they do celery juice like crazy every day, and they eat all raw, a lot of raw food, and they don't eat any naughty foods, and they still have the same problems as before, maybe a little bit less, but it's not just about food, guys. And it's the same with energy. Yes, food has an impact, and I'm just going to tip on that a little bit, but it's not everything. Food is not everything. So when it comes to leveling up your energy, what it's really about, what really has a huge effect besides diet, what I notice is my thoughts and my feelings. And that's nothing esoteric, by the way. But if you feel anxiety, if you're worried a lot, if you have a lot of stress in your life, if you're scared, I'm just saying, oh my God, now I get a phone call. This is very, oh God, I'm so sorry. I have to be connected to the internet. Okay, we're just waiting until it goes off. Sorry, Instagram people. I know you can't hear me right now. My neighbor is calling. I don't know why. So there she goes. Okay, guys, I'm back on Instagram. Sorry, a neighbor called me. I don't know why, and I need to be connected to the internet. So back to that. So if you have a lot of emotional things in your life, a lot of negative emotions and a lot of stress, feeling that life is dangerous and it's happening to you, especially with this virus situation right now. What for me, when it comes to energy, what it's really about is that, yes, I address the physical side. Yes, I address how I eat. But if you're not looking into the emotional side, if you're not changing your habits, then we don't have any chance to getting the energy really up. Because I don't know if you remember, but this feeling of when you were a kid, I remember this when I was a kid, and I knew something the next day, exciting is gonna happen, and I had this feeling of adventurousness. It was like adventurous, and like, yeah, we're doing this, and I had so much energy, I couldn't sleep the whole night. In the morning, I was just super awake. So literally, like our hormones. Yeah, often I hear people, it's hormonal imbalance when it comes to not having enough energy. It's not hormonal imbalance. This is like a symptom. Hormones really are they're almost like alchemy in the body. It's they're very sensitive to whatever happens in the body and to your thoughts as well. If you feel like life is just happening to you, if I would completely have been freaked out this morning because we didn't have electricity, we didn't have water, we didn't have Wi-Fi, I didn't even have a phone signal, and I needed to be in the house legally. We are not allowed to leave the house. Then I would be a mess. I would break out in stress and feel guilty that I can't serve you because I don't know if I can make it to the live Q&A. But somehow, what really helped me and what I work with my clients towards is that there is a moment when you feel like you can really relax into life. That life is not just happening to you. You are not, if you don't choose to, you do not need to be a victim of what's happening. You can sit in there, and then I have this writing on top of one of my walls here, and that says, "Is it really a problem?" And I think something that teaches us the situation that's globally happening right now. Yes, some people are not having any jobs and they don't have any money, but for the ones that still have some money, somehow we survive, right? Somehow we make it without the internet, or we make it without having our favorite foods every day bought from the store. Somehow we make it. And there are good things happening. Dolphins are swimming more, and lots of good stuff happening for the earth as well, and maybe for yourself internally. So what it all comes to, just making this short so we have some time for your questions, energy levels and how much energy you have in your life has not just to do with diet and with drinking celery juice and all of that. It also comes down to what you feel and what your thought patterns are. If you repeatedly think, I'm a victim, I'm not good enough, I need to work harder. One of my biggest ones was, I'm not good enough. I need to prove myself all the time. I need to prove myself so I'm worthy to be loved. I'm worthy to receive freedom. I'm worthy to receive gifts or whatever pleasures of life there is. So these really, that I just wanted to share that this is really, really key to understand that it's not just about what you eat. Now, of course, some habits, just naming them, some habits that have a negative impact on your energy balance. And those are late nights. There's nothing more energy depleting than not sleeping. And if you're somebody who struggles with sleeping problems, you probably know that if you don't sleep well, the next day is just, all the chronic illness symptoms just flare up. And the same thing for the people who think they are night owls. You might feel that you're a night owl, but your body sees it very differently, because your body also has an inner, there's a parrot just outside, an inner clock. All your organs have a clock. And if you're not resting and relaxing, even if you can't sleep, but if you are in bed from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., this is the sacred healing time. And our body needs to heal all the time, even if you're healthy. Body needs to detox, body needs to produce hormones, body needs to produce proteins from the liver, let go of toxins. So all of that is happening often in the night, because during the day we are busy with, all this stuff that perception needs a lot of energy, digestion needs a lot of energy, physical activity needs energy. And throughout the night is the time to heal. So, and then you wake up in the morning and feel, leveling up the energy. Lots of screen time is another thing. If you watch horror movies before you go to bed, probably not a good idea for your hormone balance, because the mind cannot differentiate. The hormones will still be released, even if you think that this is not really happening, that this person gets murdered, or in the news this is happening. Your body will still produce the same hormones, the same stress hormones, as if that would happen in reality. So be really, really sensitive in how long you expose yourself to media, and what media you expose yourself to, and how long are you on the screen. So screen time, lowering screen time. Stress, we had that already. Then of course, coffee, guys. Coffee, these kind of energy drinks don't help. Not going out into fresh air, no exercise, no adventure. Guys, it's really, really important if you want to improve your energy levels. You got to look at the 4 soul vitamins as well. The 4 soul vitamins, they are from Jerome Braggs, which is a colleague of mine, which I treasure a lot. And those are essential for energy because they make us feel alive. Those are purpose, joy, connection, relationships, and relaxation. So those 4 are really, really key also for your energy levels. Repeating, connections, then we have joy, purpose, that you know what you want in life and you feel your life has a meaning, very, very important, and relaxation. So I would love to know from you now in the comment box, when was the last time you felt a sense of adventure? When was the last time you felt a sense of adventure in your life? And you feel like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You can't sleep because you're so excited. Usually then we feel very energized, right? So I would love to know that from you. And then just tipping onto the physical side of this. And again, physical, emotional, and what you think, they all belong together and they interact with each other. So you can actually, it's the same with anxiety. Anxiety is not always emotional. It's not always that you think bad thoughts. If you have a microbiome which is very off, if you have a lot of toxins in your body, pathogens overgrowing, and inflammation, then drinking celery juice can lower your anxiety because it works against those. And the other way around, feeling that you are in charge, that you are the creator of your life, you are not a victim of life, has an effect on your stress hormones. You see, this is all interrelated. So now foods, of course, have a huge impact. If you want to increase your energy levels, you want say goodbye to coffee. I've got videos down below which go into depth about why coffee steals your energy, why coffee is really, really a problem. Even bulletproof coffee and all of that. My reaction, non-verbal. And so I also have some coffee alternatives. I live in the place where there is the most expensive and most tasty coffee in the world. It's Boquete. It's a mountain village, and we have over 1,000 coffee farms all around here. You can buy a kilogram of coffee for $10,000. This is the most expensive. It's the best climate for coffee. And I love the smell. I love everything about it, but I make it something special. And I feel every time the impact it has on my nervous system. Every time. So looking into coffee, check out the videos on YouTube in the description below. Coffee steals your energy and coffee alternatives. And then we have high-fat foods and processed sugar foods. Worse in combination, I'm just saying donut. This has both high fructose corn syrup and processed sugar with high-fat foods and dairy and eggs and all of that together. Worst combination, but even apart, not a good idea, because whatever puts a lot of stress on your digestion, when the digestion is impaired, you won't feel it. You will feel it in your energy system, in your energy levels. And then lots of preservatives, not helpful. Fried foods, not helpful. If you're very dehydrated, you need to make sure that you drink a lot. And not just water, but also high quality alive water, which is fruit water. Cucumber juice or celery juice is also very hydrating. Lemon water is great, activates the water and gets it all into your cells. What I'm a yogi tea, my favorite yogi tea, which is also in a new shop, by the way. We've got a new shop. I'm really proud of it, with a lot of treats as well, and all my favorite supplements, which I check all of those supplements. There's nothing naughty in there. They are high bioavailable and they come at a good price. And this is one of my favorite teas, which is also in there, the detox yogi tea without caffeine. If you want to read all of this, enjoy. And I have this chai latte here with homemade almond milk and some water and this tea bag. Cheers. It's really amazing when you're used to in the afternoon, right now it's afternoon here, to have coffee or latte. This just is so good with some ginger in it. Terrific. Okay, so where were we? So, of course, food has a huge impact on your energy levels. So you want to avoid foods that feed pathogens. Talking all about that all the time on this channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go into the YouTube videos. I'll also link some information down below in the comments. Dairy, eggs, corn, gluten, soy, a lot of pork as well. And then, of course, all the meat that is treated with antibiotics and that is a high-fat source. If you are struggling with your health, then this can be a problem because your body can't digest it, and whatever your body can't digest starts rotting in the gut, produces ammonia, which is a gas, causes all kinds of health issues, highly inflammatory, brain fog, allergies. I had so much of that, guys. I was eating so bad and suffered for 15 years from allergies and asthma and low energy and all of that. So food definitely plays a role. I just want to name 4 things before we go to live Q&A. I want to name 4 things why you might not have abundant energy levels. And guys, thank you so much. I see you in the background here on Instagram. You're sending hearts. Thank you. If you want to ask a question, please make sure you hop over to YouTube, because I can just focus on one on one thing. I'm actually already focusing on 3 things. So make sure you hop over on YouTube and I will see your questions there. The link is in the post, in the last post, or also on the in the story where it was the swipe up button. Okay, 4 things why you might struggle with energies. Number 1, an overburdened liver. Again, remember as a kid, and this is a thing that happens over decades. Remember, as a kid, you had more energy. You probably didn't have any weight problems. You were not too thin. You were not too big. And this is because a lot of us, not everybody, some kids are already born with a very toxic liver, but most of us, we have a little bit of buffer time. We have some credit, have some money on the credit card. But over decades, this money on the credit card gets lower and lower and lower and lower, and your liver starts to become overburdened if you just keep on with the same lifestyle. Alcohol is one as well. So your liver is a silent sufferer and has 100% to do with low energy. Then we have overworked and imbalanced adrenal glands. Again, hormones are a symptom. Hormone imbalance is a symptom, it's not the cause. So you want to look into why you have so much adrenaline in your body. Maybe you're drinking coffee, maybe you have a lot of stress, etc. Number 3, we already touched on this. One of my favorites here on the channel we talk about is an impaired digestion. Maybe you have low stomach acid, maybe you have inflammation, maybe you have injury in the gut, and all of that needs attention from your body on a daily basis. The body always tries to fix this, and that takes energy. And then 4th, malabsorption and deficiency in minerals, which often come together with an impaired digestion. So one of very common issue is zinc deficiency and iron deficiency. I'll also talk about that more in videos that I've recorded here on gut feelings. If you want to learn more, just Google, just YouTube gut feelings, zinc, or gut feelings, iron, and then you find good replacements and also background information why we might suffer from these deficiencies. Oh yeah, and 5th, last but not least, of course, if your immune system is very busy, if you have a lot of pathogens happening, a lot of pathogenic bacteria in your gut, SIBO is just one example, or very viral activity, Epstein-Barr, then of course what's happening right now, I can't say the word, the C word, the virus that's happening right now, that takes a lot of time from the immune system and a lot of energy, and that will focus, the body will focus on putting out the flames and not really making you feel energetic at the same time. So it's firefighting, and you will feel that in your energy system. Okay, guys. So lots of information. Let me know if you enjoyed this so far, if that was informative for you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. Yeah, also appreciate it on Instagram. Hit it on YouTube. There it lasts. And now we're going to look into your questions, guys. By the way, if you're just joining, we have a new shop, which I'm proud of because I shop there too. I really like that shop. It's very cute, I feel. And all the products, not all, but some of the products, for example, if I recommend a zinc, liquid zinc sulfate, then you find in the product description on the same page also the video embedded. So it's kind of nice. You watch the video and then you can buy the supplement, or vice versa. Let me know what you think about the shop. I already asked the email subscriber list. So some of you got back to me and they liked it and gave some improvements. And if you miss anything there, also let me know. So now let's look into your chat box. I'm sure there's a lot of questions here. Okay, I'm going back a little bit just to give you a chance. Thank you, by the way, everybody who's here. I'm so happy I made it here. We had in Panama, we didn't have electricity this morning, just until 1 hour before the live Q&A starts. No electricity, no water, no Wi-Fi signal, and we are not allowed to leave the house. So I had no chance to connect with you and to tell you that it's not happening. So thank you. And we have internet now. It's amazing. Okay, moving into this. Daisy Tom, how to cure blue field entopic phenomena. So I think you reached out a few times. Daisy, eye problems are not my specialty. there is a lot you can do. You can lower inflammation in general, but I cannot talk about, this is a thing that is related to the eye health. I cannot, this is not part of my expertise. So I cannot give you advice on that. Of course, I have a few ideas, but I don't want you to not take the doctor's appointment because of what Peggy said, because this is not my expertise. Okay, I'm sorry for that, but I also want to be honest and honor my limits. Okay. Melmood, hey, I want to go vegan, but I have fructose malabsorption. Do you have any tips? Oh, yes, I have a lot of tips, and they come in 2 videos, actually. I have Melmood, if you look on gut feelings and just look for fructose malabsorption, I've got 2 videos where I go in depth about what this whole is about, what this whole fructose malabsorption is about, and how you can transition into eating more fruit that will actually help you to heal. Because it's not that you don't have the enzyme that breaks down, that's histamine intolerance. It's not about that. Fruit is really the problem. It's often related to fat. If fat and fruit comes together, then the problem starts. A good way to transition is always going for fruits that are, most people think that are vegetables. So a cucumber, for example, is a fruit, but botanically. Tomato is also a fruit botanically, but it's salty. So starting with that, and then it's all about gentle, guys. It's all about gentle. You never want to go hardcore. So this, if I can just give you one thing, when you want to transition to anything, don't go hardcore. Your body doesn't like hardcore. Gentle is always the best. I have a lot of clients who can't do celery juice 16 ounces in the morning. I just had a long-term client, I think she's here as well, Sarah. She couldn't do celery juice at all. There was just so much happening, and now we are at 8 ounces in the morning, and it's a celebration. You get there. It's just a matter of knowing what you're doing and reconnecting really with your body and doing the dance. It's always a dance. The body is not a car. Your body is not a car. Even if traditional university medicine, I studied medicine for 4 years, this is what they told me all the time. The body is a car, but not literally, but like beyond the lines. We take this out, we put this in. We give this medication, this happens. This is not, the body is a living organism, highly intelligent, and everything is connected. Okay, so look for that video. I hope that helps, Melmood. Hope answers your questions. Naomi Hassel is 7 weeks after gallbladder removal, and she has nausea. That's a good question, but it can be anything. Nausea is a symptom, and there can be a lot of things underlying that. It might be that, some foods that are too cleansing for you, or it might be that the medication you take causes nausea, can be toxic heavy metals, can be really anything, can be that you don't break down the foods that you eat. Maybe you eat too much protein, too much fat, and then you have the ammonia gas that is produced and that penetrates every cell in your body, and you feel this brain fog, and you feel like abdominal pain and nausea coming up. Can be anything. I can't, it's very difficult without knowing what this is really about. Okay, I'm just going through your questions. Regarding food combining, which category does these foods fall into? Peas, barley, mushroom, tomatoes. What do you mean? Like what categories? So peas is a legume. It has a lot of protein, but it's plant-based. It's much better than if you would eat meat, for example, for the digestive effort that it has on the body. Instagram people here can't see me anymore. How is it now? Okay, it doesn't work. Sorry, guys. Doing my best here to be multitasking. Okay. So peas are a bean. a legume. Sorry, barley is a grass or a grain, depending if it's got barley grass juice powder, which I recommend. Barley has, if it's the grain, it has gluten, and not recommend that. Mushroom is a mushroom. This is a specific category, which also is high in protein, but still is easier to be digested than if you would eat meat, for example. For some people, if you have a very sensitive digestive system, mushrooms might not be a good start. And tomatoes are a fruit, are a salty fruit. I'm not sure if I answered your question right. Just let me know in the down below. Okay. Jessica Carrillo, dealing with lots of anxiety, mostly in the middle of the night and early morning. Hormones. This is cortisol, 100% cortisol. Anxiety in the middle of the night. This is a cortisol imbalance. Usually we should have, if we have a natural, a balanced hormone system, then we have a lot of cortisol in the morning, which is energizing. And then the cortisol level drop over the night. What you have is that your cortisol level probably starts very early, or very early on, and there might be adrenal fatigue happening. It's very hard to say where to start. Sometimes magnesium threonate, I have a video about that, magnesium for anxiety. That can be a good start, especially if you're dealing then with sleeping problems because of the anxiety. It's very likely that there is some toxins, especially in the nervous system, in the brain, happening, and they are inflamed, and then this causes the anxiety. Because, guys, intoxication, so then when the body has a lot of toxic load, that can be super create anxiety, because for the body this is an alarming signal. Yeah, so the body is usually very, very smart. It doesn't just create anxiety out of nothing. Often there's the combination between emotional stuff and immune system weakness, and then you have toxins coming together and pathogens. So it's a bundle. It's very rare that it's just physical, it's just emotional, or it's just it's just one pathogen. Often it's shingles is there as well. Just to name a few, Epstein-Barr and shingles are very typical for creating anxiety, which is on a physical level. So check out the anxiety videos that I have. Okay. How to stop anxiety from food. Are you saying that food causes your anxiety, or when you eat foods then you feel anxiety? When you eat foods and you feel anxiety, it's usually a good sign to not keep on eating these foods, apparently. However, sometimes also this anxiety, when you, for example, drink celery juice and you have an anxiety attack, which is something different from an anaphylactic shock. Yeah, this is completely different. If somebody, has one drop of celery juice on their mouth and everything starts swelling and you can't breathe and stuff, this is close to an emergency. But if you are somebody who has then an hour later or something like that, you have abdominal, discomfort or maybe cramping and anxiety, that can be a cleansing reaction. That can mean that the body just releases, draws out of the liver, for example, toxins, starts to cleanse all the putrefying food in the gut. And then that also create, this is a task. So the body internally gets sweaty, kind of works hard, and that can cause also this feeling of anxiety or of discomfort. So I hope this makes sense to you. Let me know. Okay, Wanjian Chai Singh. Sorry, is this probably Chinese maybe or Pakistani? I don't know. I'm 30 and it's been 2 months since my last period. I did a liver gallstone flush. Was it a good idea? Definitely not. Definitely not. Liver gallstone flush is not a good idea. Never. The body doesn't like to be flushed or pushed or anything like that. Also, I read one comment somewhere about coffee enemas. I think it was Instagram, guys. If you're watching this right now, coffee enemas, not a good idea. Very, very draining on your liver and on your adrenals. even if the coffee just comes from the back door. The body, the colon can still absorb and reacts to the caffeine. So if you want to do an enema, do it with herbs or do it with warm water. That's completely enough. So gallstone flush is never a good idea. Maybe you have a repercussion now, because what often happens is that the body, you push the liver to release toxins, and then you don't have anything to absorb them in the bloodstream to really transport them out. So there's something called the enterohepatic cycle, which is a cycle between the liver and the gut. And when the body is not able to draw out those toxins, which you basically pushed out of the liver, then the liver needs to reabsorb them. And then you get huge problems. And this might be, I wouldn't worry about the period. The period often, so for the body, for the female body, the period, for the female body, the uterus and the height are the most important organs. This is how the body thinks, because it's the reproductive organ. So the uterus and the height, this is where everything goes into. However, the body is also very clever. If there's a lot going on in your body and the body is very toxic, couldn't actually bear a child or hold a child from the body's perspective, not that you want a child, it doesn't matter in that case. So if there's a lot of stress on the body happening, then sometimes the body says, okay, we're just stopping the period, because it takes so much effort. It takes so much, it takes 80% when you have your period. Your 80% of your immune system is busy with drawing everything out and then rebuilding the uterus, rebuilding the membrane. So there's so much effort for the body. This is why a lot of women also, they get sick just before their period or while they are on their period. This is because it's a huge process. So don't worry about the period. What I would worry about is helping your body, or what I would work towards helping your body gently get better, not with anything radical, because the liver suffered for decades. They don't want to be like, in 1 week, just push everything out. Gentle. Okay, hope that helps. Marilyn Kalimanis, how often should I use ionic zinc? Are you referring to the liquid zinc sulfate? I hope, especially during this time. So zinc, we are all zinc deficient. It's good idea as a maintenance dose from the one that I recommend from Good State, which is my dearly treasured one. Liquid zinc sulfate from Good State. You find it in the shop as well, of course. To do 10 drops, 5 to 10 drops as a maintenance every day, because the body can't store zinc. And zinc is one of your main key elements to heal you and to protect you from viruses, from pathogens, but also from toxic heavy metals. So 5 to 10 drops is a great maintenance. I take zinc every day, still myself. Okay. Oh my God, you have so many questions. I'm trying to find. Okay, Angela is asking, what is the best supplement to use comparable to liposomal glutathione? Well, comparable, nothing is comparable, really. The question that I always ask is, why do you want to take that supplement? That is the first question, because often we just take supplements because we have like one condition and you think, okay, I just take those supplements and then it's gone away. Supplements are not healing you. Never, ever, ever. Supplements are there to speed up your healing journey and to make it easier. But the real healing, your body does the real healing, not any supplements. So I would need to know, Angela, for what are you taking the supplement? What is this about? So. What is the quickest, Jennifer is cute. Jennifer, what is the quickest way to recover from eating all naughty foods? Normally I follow your protocol, but I ate with my family over Easter weekend. So Jennifer, I know exactly what you mean. What is the best way to recover after eating naughty foods? So if you think from the body's perspective, you think that you put a lot of dairy or eggs or whatever you put in the body, and maybe even overeating and combining like everything with everything, maybe even alcohol and coffee, then the digestion takes a lot of effort. So what one way to do it, and it's not working for everybody, but one way to do it is afterwards you go for ginger tea. You chew raw ginger. I talked about that a lot, which lowers the inflammation. It's also an adaptogen, meaning that brings the body back into balance. Herbs, usually ashwagandha is also a good one, but just ginger is good. Ginger tea, and you eat less. You eat less or you eat nothing. And you do celery juice, of course, so you bring in nutrients, but without the fiber. So the body doesn't have so much digestive effort, and it can, like, you never can really like recover that way. You know, it's not working like that. It's like one day naughty, one day healthy, one day naughty, one day healthy. I wish, you know, I would be on Snicker bars right now, you know, if that would be the case, but it's not how it's going. But I understand your question. So you want to do ginger, and you want to do juices. Celery juice, cucumber juice. It's not recommendable to do complete fasting afterwards, because that's for the body like, whoa, what's happening now? You know, from overload to nothing. Because also for the body to heal and to recover, you need healthy glucose and electrolytes. Okay. Hope that answers your question. Ma Fair, hi Peggy, how can I cure streptococcus and staphylococcus? Is it just the diet? I talked about that before. So diet has a huge impact on, this is a pathogenic bacteria, on what's happening inside your body and what are you feeding. So basically just imagine, like with everything, food is never neutral. Food is either healing you or supporting your body, or it's against your body. It's basically feeding the bad guys. So you either feed the good guys or you feed the bad guys. There's nothing like a neutral food or something like that. So the best way to cure streptococcus and staphylococcus is, one, to focus on not feeding them for the first thing, and then second, I would look into feeding the good guys instead, because good gut bacteria and bad gut bacteria, they hate each other, so they fight against each other. So if you start rebuilding your microbiome, for example, by eating raw sprouts every day, half a cup raw sprouts, broccoli sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, you can grow it at your home, then you enable the body to take off the burden itself. It's always the best. Antibiotics are never a good idea, really, really, unless it's an emergency where you're, almost dying kind of thing. Unless it's that case, antibiotics, they kill you, literally. They kill not just the good bad bacteria, but also, just bring a very huge imbalance into the body, and you can, this cannot be absorbed by the liver, and it can just go on and on for decades, even if you took it 10 years ago. So it has a huge impact over a long period of time. Okay. Milkshake, as we're talking about probiotics and all of that, you are asking, Peggy, how to repopulate the good gut bacteria if we have histamine intolerance and can't handle fermented foods. Guys, actually, fermented foods are not the best way to repopulate your gut bacteria. Not at all. It's not kefir, of course not, and it's also not sauerkraut. Those are dead foods, and bacteria feeding on dead foods is not the strongest one. The strongest bacteria is, what do I have? Oh, let me just get one. Let me get some bacteria. There, we got the bacteria. Got the bacteria for you. So here, organic cabbage, just from my neighbor here who had a lot of cabbage and asked me if I want one. Yes! Everything here on this surface is not just cabbage. It's everything that is exposed, every living food that is exposed to sun, to rain, to what else can we have? heat to dryness to cold, frío. I already have Spanish in my head. Everything like that. On the surface is a bacterial film, which medical medium calls elevated biotics. And those elevated biotics, they are killers. They are so strong. They're Superman or Superwoman. And because they protect the cabbage. So this is a symbiosis. The bacteria feed off those foods, but they also support the that the cabbage looks like that afterwards and not completely moldy from all the rain and the cold and all of that. And you see there's some worms in here. It's really organic. It's wormy. I love cabbage. I just never know how to cook them. So I'm thinking about I'm probably making a soup or something like that. The best way to support your microbiome to really get better is to eat living foods and to not cook them. If you would cook them now, bacteria dead, elevated bacteria gone. But if you have problems with raw food, start with some sprouts. You can have some cooked potatoes and you can you know what I mean. Put some sprouts on top, some fresh sprouts. That will help. And sometimes probiotics are helpful. I'm very, very sparingly, very conservative with probiotics. I've got one good one that I like, and that's from the Global Healing Center, and I have that also on my shop. That is very balanced and it's very powerful because you often get dependent on those probiotics, and they do cover up symptoms. They basically are like a crutch. You walk with it, then you get used to it, but you need to take them all the time. These guys, they actually repopulate your ileum, which not the cabbage, the guys on top that we can't see, the tiny ones. The elevated biotics, they repopulate your microbiome because they are strong enough to survive the stomach acid. Because if they can survive the wind and the heat and all of that, they are also stronger than anything that grows on moldy or on dead food, like fermented foods. Okay, lots of questions. Trying to get in here. Okay, just a second. Oof. Okay, let's take 5 more minutes because it's so late. Looking for a good vegan probiotic after treatment from SIBO. Jessica, I hope I answered that a little bit. I also got a video specifically on probiotics for SIBO. If you look for that on the Gut Feelings channel, and again in the shop, I think right now there has one probiotic supplement that I can recommend from Global Healing Center. Okay. Just a second. Okay. I need to moderate here as well. Okay, last question. Hi from Levent Adam. Hi, I got candida, heavy metals, low stomach acid, SIBO, and mold in my body. So basically everything. What's the first thing I should work on, and how's the best way? Thanks. Oh my God. What kind of comments are these? Okay, I didn't refer to yours. Sorry, Damon. So the thing is with I get these questions a lot. People struggle from a lot of different symptoms, and where to start. What's the first thing to start? So you're saying you have candida, you have heavy metals, low stomach acid, SIBO, and mold sensitivity or mold in the body. Digestion is a good place to start. Cleansing the body is a good way to start. So I would probably go for celery juice if that's not too much for you, because you have a lot of stuff going on, which helps with all of those. I would incorporate more healing foods, and I would lower any foods that feed negativity, that feed pathogens in your body. So go low fat, low protein, celery juice, lots of alive foods. You want to bring in zinc. You want to bring in B12 to help with the yeah, with the digestive system, especially if you have SIBO and Candida, you want to, B12 is very, very important. And not just any B12. We want to have adenosine and methylcobalamin, which is a specific type of B12. The one that I recommend is a liquid form, comes from Global Healing Center as well. I like those guys. They're doing a good job. And I have that in the shop as well, recommended. So look at that one. Okay. Good, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a pleasure to be here. I hope it was helpful. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up button if that helped you. And I'm going to see you back in 2 weeks. We're going to be back on next Tuesday in 2 weeks at the same time. Stay well. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.